Let's tell our audience who you are to give them a little bit of a taste of who you are. Music, radio, and TV has always been a big part of your life for the
That's
past
right.
15 years, and you've always had the privilege to work with some of the best directors, producers, and writers in these industries. Can you give us a little bit of story of what's been happening to you the last 6 months, and then find out
Gosh.
about the new music you've written?
Oh, the last 6 months really was amazing. The last single, Wine and Roses, did really well in America, which opened some amazing doors for me to travel out to Nashville and to Chicago and Los Angeles. So I spent a lot of time in the States, which has been great. So I'm very excited to see how this new single is received there. I think with the more poppy rock edge, it seems to have been already well received by the radio stations, which is awesome. So I think it's got a little bit more kick to it than the other tracks as well. It's more of a driving track. So that was something that was kind of done on purpose to kind of attract the more of the radio audience that had kind of like latched onto the other tracks. And that seems to be the direction that the album's starting to take as well. So in that time, I've started to work on the album as well with Kevin Hughes, who is a producer who I've worked with for many years through my publisher, Hugh Music, and also another producer called Adam Argyle, who's also kind of worked on this production. So yeah, it's been a busy few months, lots of travel and lots of writing, which has been fantastic. So I've been a very happy girl. I'm in my happy place at the moment, which is good. The hard work's paying off. Yeah.
Song Simple just released.
Yeah.
And so how did this song come into being? How did you start writing this song?
This was between myself, it was Kevin Hughes and Adam Argyle. They had put the foundations and kind of most of the actual works down with another singer, and had presented the demo to me as I started to work on the album of other songs. And I really loved the track. And it was one of those things that it's completely evolved from what the original demo was. And then when I got the chance to go and work with Kevin in his studio, we kind of put a different spin on things. I ended up going up there for a day doing kind of the vocals and working through the track, and it ended up being something completely different to what we expected. We slowed the track down. It was much faster before. And yeah, this is what we've kind of come up with creation wise. I just think what the main inspiration I think behind the track, context wise, that the song is about finding your true love. I think as humans, we go through many twists and turns in relationships of trying to find the perfect one, and lots of us put the wrong effort into the wrong relationship. This song is about when that person walks into your life when you're least expecting them and simplifies everything and makes it simple. And you're like, how did that happen? That connection. I think we've all gone through that in one way or another, from when we're kind of in our teen years to when we're older, etc. So I think that's really the premise of the song, that kind of simplicity of finding the one. So yeah, hence the title.
Yeah, Simple is an amazing song. I'm right up there with Wine and Roses and Dear Diary. We love your music. Oh yeah, it must be a great work environment there too. And
Absolutely, yeah. It's fun. It's well, we just always practical jokes, and the team of people that we've got around us are amazing as well. So yeah, it's lots of fun.
on this great third solo single of yours.
Yeah, well, obviously it's out on Friday, the 10th of March, and so obviously it'll be available on download on DistroKid. The promo will be on Twitter, so if you go on to Melissa White H01, everything will be on there for kind of download and everything that's coming up. I think really information-wise, going forward, the aim is to try and get the album done. I'm hoping as soon as I can around everything else that's happening at the moment. But in an ideal, I think to kind of get some live shows as well. I've had quite a few people come forward asking if there's going to be any live performances. I've had a few opportunities in the States again, but there's some more that are coming up in the UK. So yeah, it's kind of, I didn't expect this to kind of take this kind of journey with my music. I was always on the writing side with my publisher, working with other people, writing for artists from The Voice and X Factor. So to actually have this opportunity after releasing the single Loving You, which obviously charted in the Heritage charts, this has opened a door that maybe would have been open maybe 20 years ago when I started writing some of these tracks and ideas for the album. So it's been quite a lot for me to take in over these last 18 months of how these things have kind of happened, because when you're in your 20s and you're kind of like just branching out, it's one of those amazing things when you think, oh, by the time I'm 22, 23, I want to get a record deal, want to do this. That wasn't how it worked for me. I had my first deal when I was 16, and then it was like a firework. It all happened and then it just fizzled out. And then I went through media, working at MTV, Capital Radio, etc. And then I had to find my feet as a creative. So it was trying to survive and do things. So I think for me, being where I am in life at the moment and being that little bit older, not kind of a team performer like most are that are starting out or with a record company, it's just been the most amazing journey to be able to travel, to meet other creatives, and also the opportunity I've had with TV as well for writing. So every day seems to have a different challenge of my writing, which has always been something I've loved since I was a child. I think it was... just trying to think, I must have been 7 or 8 years old, and I wrote a story for the local press to win this kind of it was like concert tickets, and it was something I really wanted, and I showed my friend, I'm sure she's going to watch this now, I showed my friend the story, and didn't enter the competition. And then about 3 weeks later, I opened the newspaper and my friend is on the front of the first kind of page in, and I'm like, oh my God, you're in the newspaper. What did you do? Oh, that's my story. That was the biggest lesson I've ever learned in my life of being a creative, of kind of protecting works and things. And I learned that very young. So I think it's just been amazing to learn something so young, and to be mindful of the things that you can kind of get as a creative. You have to be very careful in this industry. I've learned a huge amount, but I've been very blessed recently working around an amazing team, and would like to thank obviously yourself, Chris. You've been amazing as a support, all of your amazing fans and listeners that follow the show, but also to the team that have actually made this happen for me, because without Kevin Hughes, Adam Argyle, Steve Benz, people like that in my universe, my family, my friends and whatever, none of this would have been actually possible. And it really has been a dream come true the last 18 months. I think if you are a musician, don't think just because you've hit 31, 32 and you've ended up with kids and this, that, and you've had to put the guitar down, that's the end of it. If you've got a dream, as long as you can make time for it and kind of surround yourself with the right people, then you can open doors no matter what. Even with media resources now that are online, there's always radio stations or events and people looking for new artists. So yeah, I think that's just one message I'd like to get across. I think so many times I was told, oh, you're a bit old now, you can't do that, or oh, there's nothing happening. And you think, oh, it's frustrating because it's that iceberg effect. Nobody sees what's happening under the water. The success is that pinnacle at the top of that iceberg. And I think sometimes so many people as creatives are actually doing really, really well, but unless somebody sees you physically in the top 10 or supporting Ed Sheeran, or that you've kind of been seen on the red carpet with Taylor Swift, you're not successful, that it's kind of an undemised thing. So I think it's just really important to go for those dreams and kind of to value it on your merit of what you're achieving, because it's something really lovely if you can follow it, if you've got a dream. So definitely.
Where do you go from here?
Where do I go from here? Well, okay, so we've got an album to finish, so I'm going to be a busy girl getting that finished. So once that album's done, then I'm going to be very happy. I've had somebody approach me. It's quite interesting. I'm not blowing my trumpet. I'm not trying to be kind of a big celebrity or something. I'm not trying to write an autobiography, but I've had somebody approach me who's interested in my journey through music, really, because I came so close to kind of like, well, I had a major deal when I was 22. And there were many twists and turns. I've worked with some very high people in the industry, have learned from the best, have kind of been hurt along the way on the journey with good management, bad management, have had evenings with some of the most amazing celebrities, where they become friends, etc., and kind of different adventures and stories in the studio from writing, etc. And she said, every time I talk to you, there's a twist and turn of a story that you seem to think it's the norm, but to other people it's like, oh wow, did you do that? And she said, I just would like to do like a dear diary of what you've been up to over the years. And I started writing a few ideas and I thought, oh wow, did I actually do that? Okay, fine. So it's something I might do, so that might take up a bit of time to do that, but I'm not trying to push an autobiography. I'm not at that level or whatever, but it's just something that are my memoirs and things from kind of the journey of the industry that I've been in since I was kind of like 15 years old, really. I think my motto is live each moment now and just be tenacious. Don't ever hold back. Just go for it. If you've got a dream, if you want to do music, whatever you want to do, just go for it. I think I took a lot of advice when I was younger from people and kind of held back a bit. And it's as you get older, you realize that you can kind of push more boundaries and you feel more confident. God, if I had the confidence I've got now when I was in my 20s, wow, I just think, gosh, the things that I would have done. But I think in all honesty, just live each moment now and kind of make it your best day, really, because nobody knows what's around that corner. So
You don't know. That's why it's best to live in the now. Like you don't have to worry about tomorrow, right?
Absolutely. And again, that's the power of Twitter, the power of talking to you. And it wasn't really till I recently traveled to the States that I thought it's quite amazing when you sit on a flight for 7 or 8 hours traveling across the pond to the States, for example, or to Canada, that you think, wow, Twitter is so powerful, and all of these different platforms that we use. Even now talking to you, the world's our oyster, really, because we can get our music everywhere. I had a wonderful chat with somebody in Australia yesterday who's just kind of playlisted the track in Australia as well. And you just think, that's just unbelievable to know that it's kind of going on a worldwide audience, all from a small office kind of based in London. You think, wow, the power of online now with music is quite amazing. I'm not the best person. I've still got to work on my Insta and other things. But like I said, I have been spinning most of these plates myself. Everything is on my Twitter platform. In answer to your question earlier, so if anybody needs to find information out, it's Malissa White H01. All of the promo will be there from Friday, the 10th of March. So yes, hopefully people can follow and build, and the links are there to pre-save the single as well. So and I know lots of people go on to Spotify and onto YouTube, and you can instantly hear it for all your gizmos and gadgets at home. But it is literally, I think it's just $1, isn't it now, or £1 for download, which isn't a lot. But if you can download the track, even if it be for me or other artists that are out there, it can be life-changing to the other projects that you can invest and go forward with. So I think if people can download, that will be really appreciated. And also when your track comes out, it's just having that added support that isn't just kind of a view or a click of people kind of playing it or whatever. To have it downloaded just gives you that kind of strength as an artist to build on kind of getting your promo together. So it's quite an important thing. So if you can support it, that would be amazing.
Everyone, Malissa Whitehouse, her single is now streaming on all platforms. It's called Simple. And we have actually played the video to you earlier. And thank you very much for joining us, Malissa. We really appreciate you joining us again on the podcast for so many months and letting us know and keeping us up to date. We really appreciate it, Malissa. Thank you very much.
Chris, thank you so much, and to all your amazing people that tune in. And you're doing an amazing show, and I'm looking forward to hearing your music. So maybe you could come on my show with Steve, actually, but it's Steve's show. I'm the co-host. But yeah, and come and talk to us about what you're up to as well, which would be fantastic. So
that would be
brilliant.
Awesome.
Well, lots of love to everyone. And thank you so much for having me back on. It's been a pleasure.
You're welcome, Melissa. Thank you, everyone. And we will talk soon.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
I've played so many games, trying to win by trying to change, trying to beat someone else wants me to be. I've cried, taken advice, broken some hearts so I could save mine. Thought I'd be safer running away, but this time I don't want to leave. When I'm with you, all those voices start to fade.